I always thought I knew what hardship looked like. Growing up in Los Angeles, I'd seen homelessness, wildfires, and earthquakes. I thought I was prepared for anything. But nothing could have prepared me for what I experienced when I traveled to the Philippines right after one of its worst typhoons. I thought I was just going as an observer, but that trip, it changed everything. It showed me the soul of a people whose resilience, humor, and humanity humbled me to my core. When I landed in Manila, I was carrying all my American expectations. Back home, disasters are headline news. Dramatic music, endless commentary, and words like devastation and catastrophe are thrown around. We talk about trauma for years. I assumed I'd find that same heavy, somber atmosphere here. But when I stepped out of the airport, the first thing I heard was laughter. Not forced laughter, but deep, genuine belly laughs from families and taxi drivers just days after a national disaster. It completely stunned me. How? I joined a group of local volunteers and we drove out to the hardest-hit towns. The scene was surreal. Roads were underwater, power lines were down, and entire neighborhoods were just splinters of wood. I saw kids carrying huge buckets of water, fathers balancing salvaged materials, mothers cooking over open fires. And yet, as our van rolled through these battered streets, people would look up, smile, and wave. They'd shout, "Hello, ma'am," with such cheerfulness. I kept picturing how this would be covered back home. Grim-faced reporters, a narrative of pure despair. But here, the people were writing a different story. One of the first people I met was a grandmother, Aling Rosa. She was sitting on a plastic chair outside what was left of her home. No roof, half the walls gone. But when I approached, she gave me this huge, warm smile. She pointed at her broken house, then at a little makeshift tent her grandkids had built. In broken English, she told me, "It's okay. As long as we are alive, we can build again." That sentence hit me right in the chest. As long as we are alive, we can build again. Back home, we get so bogged down with insurance claims and bureaucracy. This woman had lost almost everything, but her heart was at peace simply because her family was safe. Later that day, I saw kids splashing around in a big puddle of floodwater. My first thought was how dirty and dangerous it was. But to them, it was a playground. They were laughing and playing, and one little girl with these big brown eyes grabbed my hand and said, "Come, play!" In that moment, I let go of my fears. We splashed and laughed, and for a few minutes, all the devastation around us just disappeared. But that night was the biggest surprise of all. In a makeshift camp with limited electricity from a generator, someone had set up a karaoke machine. A karaoke machine? People were lining up to sing, belting out everything from local ballads to American pop songs. Their voices, sometimes perfectly on key, sometimes not so much, filled the night air. In the very place I expected to find silence and mourning, I found music and joy. It was unbelievable. Now, this wasn't about denial. People were frustrated. They'd whisper and joke about the government corruption, about aid that never arrived, and money for flood control that just vanished. A teacher told me, "The money disappears, but the floods stay." It was an open secret, something everyone knew and had learned to live with. But instead of letting it break their spirit, they just adapted. They built their own makeshift dikes, raised their houses on stilts, and just got on with it. As the days went on, I got more involved. I helped hand out relief packs, carried water through muddy streets, and shared meals of rice and sardines by candlelight. Every time I expected to see despair, I was met with laughter instead. One afternoon, while helping fix a roof, a man handed me a hammer and joked, "Here, you can be Filipina now." We all laughed. They made me feel like I belonged. What struck me most was how quickly life moved forward. In the US, we replay trauma on our screens for weeks, making it impossible to forget. Here, there was grief, yes, but there was also this incredible determination to live right now. I'll never forget one night, dancing barefoot in the mud with a group of kids. There was no music, just them clapping their hands and stomping their feet to create a rhythm. In that moment, I finally understood what true resilience is. It's not about therapy or long discussions about trauma. It's an action. It's laughing when your home is gone. It's singing in the rain. Witnessing this strength also made me angry. Angry at the corruption that left these people so vulnerable. angry that the world often reduces the Philippines to sound bites of poverty and disaster, never seeing the incredible joy and humanity of its people. I came expecting to see trauma, but I saw laughter. I came expecting despair, but I found hope. When my plane took off from Manila, my heart was both heavy and full. I had seen suffering, but I had also witnessed a people who had mastered the art of living fully, no matter what. In LA, a storm brings anxiety. In the Philippines, a storm brings destruction, yes, but it also brings out the best in people: unity, music, and an unbreakable spirit. I left home searching for understanding, but I found something so much more valuable. I found the spirit of the Filipino people, unshakable, joyful, and profoundly alive. And that is something I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me share this story with you. If it moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories from around the world. See you next time.